Greetings once again, family. As usual, I greet you in the words of Shalom, Salam, Namaste, Hotep, Rahubat, Que Paso, any language that equates to peace and greetings wherever you are and wherever you're from. Today is now July 16th, 2007. July 16, 2017 AD. AD standing for Anno Domini on the Julian Gregorian calendar. And of course I use a 13 moon calendar with a Marrakesh year, which would equate to 20th day of the cosmic moon, year 1438 AH, which is AH being Anno Hajiri, the year Prophet Muhammad sojourned to Medina. I am not Christian, which is nothing but a Constantinian concoction, religious ideology, dogmatic ideology of Constantine, Emperor Constantine, which was a sun worshiper. I understand he was a sun worshiper, S-U-N, but he gives you the mythical S-O-N. I'm not a Christian and I'm not a Muslim. I'm not a professed Muslim. But I do equate the word Muslim meaning being of peace or entity of peace, which I most certainly I am. You know, when I say I'm not a Muslim, I'm not a professed Muslim, I have not done a Shahada, which I don't intend to do one, and don't intend to do one. I have not been to Mecca, physical place known as Mecca. So by saying that, some people will say I'm not a Muslim. But again, I do acknowledge the science of Islam being an ancient science. I am ancient. Melanin-rich people are ancient. Especially Islam being, like an amalgamation of Hindu sciences as well as Cometian sciences. So we're going to continue right along. Today's monologue is going to be entitled Christian Preacher recently released from the belly of the U.S. beast. Again, Christian Preacher recently released from the belly of the U.S. beast. A lot of you may know or may not know. You should have heard the Christian preacher Pinckney. I think his name is Ed Pinckney. The name Ed comes to mind. Ed Pinckney, so-called Reverend. I'm not going to call you Reverend because I don't revere no flesh and blood man or woman. I'm not going to give you no Reverend. If the truth is in you, I revere the truth in you. But I don't address no man or woman as Reverend. I only revere, celestial beings, celestial objects in the cosmos. And I revere the truth. But Ed Pinckney was released after like 6 months in prison for blowing the whistle on the poisoning of the Flint, Michigan waters, which later turned into a full-blown poisonous attack on so-called black African-American population in that area. I recall somewhere where a Euro-Albion white doctor actually openly admitted that whole thing was geared directly towards poisoning, melanin-rich people. There's something floating around where a white guy's actually saying he can prove that it was geared directly towards melanin-rich people in North America. Poisoning death. Most likely for gentrification. So what you're looking at again, I always call it, it's eugenics. I've said to you all before that everything is eugenics. All their institutions are eugenics. They're foreign to you. They're not of you. These institutions in this modern day West or whatever is eugenics-based programs. So that was another act of eugenics on top of all of the ones they've been doing so far. You know, eugenics, genocide, gentrification. I mean, you know, they all are practically one and the same. But in all those three words, eugenics, genocide, and gentrification, you clearly see the words GEN. They all got the root word, 3 letters, GEN, which stands for, you know, GEN equates to genes, and genes is, of course, genetics. So they are doing genetic cleansing on African Americans, so-called black, melanin-rich people in North America, any way you slice it. So just remember, Adolf Hitler, his whole platform was eugenics. And if his whole operation has been transferred over here, Operation Paperclip, then you know what's here. You should know what's going on. John Hopkins, Margaret Sanger, they all eugenicists. Anyway, so a Christian preacher blew the whistle on that mess. Him being from Flint, Michigan, he blew the whistle and said it was coming, they were going to do it. And they trumped some charges up on him and put him physically in jail. So that's what this monologue is going to be about. And we'll get into, you know, what he's up to and his status now. Is actually a blog talk radio show that you can archive and listen to the whole thing, because that's where I'm getting my information from. Continuing, I'm going to give out the website that I always do. https://indigenous-people-docs.wixsite.com/Asiatic Moorish Nation. Again, https://indigenous-people-docs.wixsite.com. That's the website. indigenous-people-docs.wixsite.com/Asiatic Moorish Nation. Moorish Nation in that aspect is spelled with 2 U's. And the email, of course, is asiaticmoorishnation@gmail.com. But in the email, the Asiatic Moorish Nation is spelled with 2 O's. So you got some contact information if you want to respond back to me or comment or whatever you want to say about anything that I get into. You know, that's up to you. But continuing right along, let's see what's in the news. You know, there's always something going on. Things are happening at an astronomical rate, astronomically rapid pace. Things are popping off. Things are definitely going on. Alabama Senate votes to let church create its own police force. Alabama Senate votes to let church create its own police force. Now, if you notice, you know, Alabama, redneck Alabama being one of the Confederate states, there's about 11 of them total, starting from Maryland all the way down to whatever, Texas. You know, they all go in a row. You can count them. They all line right up. But Alabama Senate votes to let church create its own police force. It says here the Alabama State Senate passed a bill Tuesday that would allow an individual church to create its own police force to patrol their property and schools, stirring controversy about the role of private law enforcement units for houses of worship. According to Associated Press, the bill passed the Senate in a 24-4 vote to grant Briarwood Presbyterian Church in Birmingham, Alabama, the right to create its own police staff. Officers would be restricted to church property, but still invested with all of the powers of law enforcement officers in Alabama, according to the text of the bill. A similar bill is still being debated in the Alabama House of Representatives, but news of the legislation has already sparked debate. This is peculiar because this is showing you that, number one, you don't have no government. You've seen a lot of these laws popping up. You know, a lot of these lopsided laws are popping up in these redneck states, southern states, Confederate states. A lot of the congressional members, Congress members of those states then already met with David Duke, you know, or somebody else. In other words, they're promoting white supremacy in these Confederate states. And we already know Congress don't even work for you in the first place. They all concocted. Who do they work for? They're not de jure. They're not de jure. But you're starting to see representatives of these redneck states doing things that are clearly unconstitutional. You know, you had the dude Scalise. I think he was a representative from Louisiana. It's already been proven he met with a white nationalist group, and David Duke being the leader of the Grand Wizard of Ku Klux Klan. So, again, where does Alabama Senate have the right to even pass something like this? It says, according to the Associated Press, the bill passed the Senate 24-4 vote to grant Briarwood Presbyterian Church in Alabama the right to create its own police staff. Now, they don't do this for any Muslim houses of worship, any Hindu houses of worship, Buddhists. Okay, you clearly see a good old boy network here under the guise of a Christian right. The code words Christian right is really a conservative right, Conservative right is really Christian redneck good old boy network. But the code word is conservative right. They're doing for each other, and they're doing it under the guise of religion. And it's unheard of, unprecedented, because Congress never got in the way of religion. Where's the separation of church and state? So they're doing for their own boys under the guise of Christianity, which is really redneck patriotism. As you can see, Donald Trump says he's a Christian. Like, Christian what? Bush said he was Christian. All of them are part of this so-called conservative right. Pat Robinson and all these, Pat Buchanan, they're doing this under the guise of Christian. So it is a religious thing. But law enforcement ain't law enforcement in the first place. It says here, officers would be restricted to church property, but still invested with all of the powers of law enforcement officers in Alabama, according to the text of the bill. What are the powers of law enforcement officers in Alabama when they're not law enforcement officers? We all know they enforce policy of the District of Columbia, domestic policy, all of them. All of them got the gold fringe around their flag. So Alabama police officers means nothing. They all do the same thing, and Alabama's a corporation, not a republic. So whether it's Alabama Police Force, New York Police Force, Ohio Police Force, they all are federales, work for the federal corporation in Washington, D.C. They're all third-party commercial mercenaries, mafia hitmen, third party, meaning they never have any first-hand knowledge of nothing, no event, never, ever. They never have first-hand knowledge. So they have no business stepping in nobody's face, in anybody's face. But now they getting powers in the church to do what they want in the church. As you can see, the hookup between the church. Especially if that church is a 501c3, which makes it an agent of the Mother Church of Rome anyway. So you see the strengthening of Rome right in your face. Continuing right along, an Alabama high school resegregated after years of being a model of integration. In Alabama, in the same redneck state, Alabama, an Alabama high school resegregated after years of being a model of integration. Now, how do you resegregate a school? See, white people are proud to talk about, they want separation, but it's always been about separation. In nature, you know, a frog got to be a frog, a horse got to be a horse, a mosquito got to be a mosquito. You got to be what you naturally were created to be. Everyone must worship under their own vine and fig tree. That's a divine law, and it's honorable. You start dishonoring that, you're gonna have some problems. And that's what the integration sham was all about. We've been played. We've been sold up the river. Now white people are crapping in your face, telling you they're gonna be separate any damn way. They were always separate, even when they pretended to be integrating. They just came up off of you. You gave them a benefit by integrating. What did you get from it? Melanin rich people. So an Alabama high school resegregated after years of being a model of integration. Now I think the military pretend that they segregated the schools. The military came in and forced segregation. Now who's doing the resegregating? Is it the military or some white patriot group, which you know is on the rise? Anyway, continuing, a top Spanish bullfighter was gored to death when he tripped over his own cape. A top Spanish bullfighter, this is pretty interesting, was gored to death when he tripped over his own cape. As you know, these Spanish bullfighters, known as a matador, the little homosexual looking dude that fights this big black bull, big, shall I say, ebony colored bull, because black, the word black really means bleached and pale, but a big ebony colored bull. You can say black, so-called black, but you know what I'm talking about. When the matador, the Spanish matador, fights this bull, all that's remnants of the hatred of the Moors. They hated the Moors so much till they made a sport where the black bull is obviously a Moor, or Moreno, and the little Spanish Catholic matador shows how, you know, he can subdue the bull and kill the bull and torment the bull to a slow death, which is symbolic of what they did to the Moors in 1492 of the Iberian Peninsula. But they actually, you know, torment the bull. You know, the matador uses his little red cape, a little red towel, whatever it is, to psych the bull out, get the bull mad, and the fans just throw darts in the bull, little daggers or spears into the bull, just bleeds to death. Big old powerful bull just bleeds to death. Then word is they cut his phallus off. You know, they always hated the phallus of the Moor, so-called black man, blackamoor. You know, the phallus being a weapon. We don't see it as that they're scared of. That's the real weapon of mass destruction, a black man's penis, whether we realize it or not. But anyway, the Spanish bullfighter, the matador, was gored to death when he tripped over his own cape. How do you like that? God is great, God is good. How about that? Allahu Akbar, whatever you got to say, however you say God is good, Yahweh is great, Jehovah's great, but that's karma. I mean, you know, no love lost there, no condolences there. And that's one for the bull, one for the Moors. Anyway, continuing, George Takei petitioned to stand up for Muslims. George Takei. A lot of y'all don't know who George Takei is, but Professor Zulu, or whatever his name was on Star Trek, the Asian Professor Sulu. In real life, he got a YouTube where he's actually petitioned for people to stand up for Muslims. George Takei being from Japan, I believe, where he's saying that he remembered vividly the Japanese internment camps. And he's basically saying this whole thing is biased, religiously biased, or ethnically biased, just like the Japanese internment camps was. And he's saying basically this whole Muslim rhetoric, slandering Muslims, is literally equivalent to the Japanese internment camps, literally. And he's saying that was wrong, so this is definitely wrong. You know, stereotyping of people, a whole race of people, because what a few may do, you know, you just round up a whole people and put them in camps and stuff like that. So you all may want to see his YouTube. I find it very honorable for this man to be standing up like this, boldly, you know, boldly. And then by him being from the continent of Asia, you know, I'm always fascinated with that, the sister continent of Asia, me being Asiatic, not black, Negro, colored, African American. So I can identify with his lineage and with his ideology of what he's doing, standing up for Muslim. Right is right and wrong is wrong, you know. So you may want to take a look at that. It's just showing the hypocrisy of the U.S. beast, really, especially Donald Trump. I was just, you know, blatantly religiously biased, you know. And, you know, this Constitution of the United States of America Republic is supposed to be bound based on no religious tests and practices and sentiments and all that stuff. Prejudice, religious prejudice. Anyway, continuing, a black off-duty cop tried to help stop a crime. Another officer shot him. This was in, I believe, Baltimore. And at first I thought that, you know, the brother being off-duty, that the rednecks just saw him as another black target and shot him, which would have been karma. You know, you're in bed with pigs. You know, you get crapped on when you're in bed with pigs. But somebody actually said he was set up, which could have very well possibly happened too, because pigs got a way of doing things. They set your ass up so quick and shot this Negro, you know. But then again, that's the team you on. You know, that's the team you on. You're in the field of pigs. You know what pigs do. You've been doing it. So again, no love lost, no condolences here. You know, you took one for the team, buddy. Continuing, Australian police charge Vatican Cardinal with sex offenses. Vatican Cardinal, again, Catholic Church, molesting boys and molesting somebody. You know, now you don't hear no top Muslim officers molesting no children, but Muslims supposed to be all bad, all this hype against Muslims. Pardon me 1 second. You know, you don't hear Muslims. Pardon me. Just bear with me 1 second here. Bear with me. Okay. So again, sexual offenses, Vatican sex offenses. My position is, why don't they drop a damn bomb on the Vatican? If this is all they do consistently, you know, there's a psychological pattern here. Psychologically consistent pattern, demented pattern of this type of behavior, and they still doing it. You know, but you have no problem dropping the mother of all bombs in Syria or wherever you dropped it. But, you know, drop a mother of all bomb on the Vatican. You can drop the father of all bombs if all I give a damn. See? So you see it clearly being lopsided once again. But moving right along, China is still protecting North Korea from Donald Trump. Of course China's protecting North Korea. They family. That's what they're supposed to do. You think China just gonna turn in they family for standing up to the West? See, I mean, all of them are family, them chinky-eyed people. Philippines, Hawaii. You know, you all must be crazy. Y'all didn't think that they was gonna defend their homeland of Asia, especially a lot of them being right here in North America. All right, it's like, you know, it's like killer bees waking up. So, you know, of course China is protecting North Korea. That's what they should do. A lot of you know that North Korea whipped that white boy's ass into a coma and sent him back over here. The white boy was spying over there. That's good. That's what they're supposed to do. You know, he want to take his white behind over there, Christian behind, and disrespecting people and spy on their own land. And they whipped his ass. First they gave him jail time, then whipped his ass and put him into a coma and sent him back to the U.S., back to the United Snakes. But that's good for him. Anyway, moving right along, Bornstone gives evidence of early Atlantic crossing. I felt the need to throw this in because a lot of you are not familiar with the archaeological find known as the Bornstone, Massachusetts. This article here by a white guy, ancientamerica.com. The Bornstone is proof that the Americas was annexed to the Iberian Peninsula by an ancient general military figure, whatever he was, named Hanoi Bay. Hanoi Bay, whatever his name is. But this is like 100,000 years before damn Christopher Columbus, for the white man, even knew how to get over here. So again, that's very significant. You definitely don't hear that in history, so-called black history, any history. That you're not in Europe. This landmass has been claimed as Africoid lands, Asiatic, Aboriginal lands, long time ago. All right, but that's an interesting article. If you don't, some of you all don't know that by now. Bornstone gives evidence of early Atlantic crossing, which brings you to Canaanites. You know, Canaanite crossing, Phoenicians, Moors. So we are Phoenicians. We are Canaanites, which is an ancient name for the so-called Jew, Yehudi. You know, you were here. Canaanites was here when the cracker got here, as well as Islam and other things of that nature. So, interesting article. That's actually on my website too. So, continuing, moving right along. Feeling unwanted and unwelcome, African migrants hit by a new tax in Israel. It's just this apartheid Israel doing more damage. They won't stop. How can an African migrant be hit by a tax in Israel when Israel is in Africa? But this modern day concoction has no right to exist over there. They're crapping on melanin rich people. I mean, there's never been. Jews and Arabs have always been together, meaning they're they're ethnically the same. A Jew and Arab, they both are Shemites, not Semites, Shemites. And there was never no historic fighting in ancient time between these people until them Caucasoid, pale white people got over there. Simple as that, causing all this racist animosity. You know, it's clearly racism, divide and conquer. Another article says young black and Latino Americans don't like Israel. Well, why don't you tell why they're not liked? Why are they not liked? You know, Israel is a beast. It's a beast just like the U.S. is a beast. Israel is a beast. Continuing, in the July 7th, 2017 article, the UN came up with a ruling that Israel is actually an occupying force. This is UN. UN is stepping up. Somebody's putting pressure on that UN because they're not going to continue to be lopsided. They've been saying some things which is good, but somebody's putting pressure on them about this damn Israel, man. They've been too lopsided. But the UN came up with a ruling that Israel is actually an occupying force. And at the same time, UNESCO, which is UN, ruled that the ancient city of Hebron over there in Middle East Africa is actually in Palestine. That's a historic ruling. And pissed Netanyahu off. I mean, this cracker. You know, of course it is. Because there is no Israel. Israel is a political concoction. It definitely ain't no ancient Israel. But again, UNESCO stands for the UN something. Got something to do with archaeological sites and stuff. UNESCO ruled that the ancient city of Hebron is actually in Palestine and not in Israel, and has marked Hebron as a World Heritage Site. So that's very important globally. If you all, especially you so-called African Americans, you don't understand, you from over there too, Moabites and Amorites, Israelites. UNESCO rules the Cave of the Patriarchs as being Palestinian. Caves of the Patriarchs. UNESCO failed to recognize Jewish claims to the burial site of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, and Leah. You know that pissed them suckers off. UNESCO failed to recognize Jewish claims. This white fake Jew. Jewish claims to the burial site of Ibrahim, Isaac, Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, and Leah. Failed to recognize their claims. So you know they heated. You know, our people just so disoriented, man. We don't know our behind from a hole in the ground. I asked a Negro African American. I'm not gonna tell you what state I'm in because you know their mind is fried here. They all Christian out. But I asked a Negro or an African American, did he know that the original Jews was from Ethiopia? His response is, no, I don't know. I wasn't there, so I don't know. That's the kind of response coming from an adult. He don't know because he wasn't there. He has no sense of anthropology, no sense of genetics. But he, you know, most likely he's a Christian. But you better believe he know all about Peter Pan and Peter Pumpkin Eater. And Jack Sprat can eat no fat. He can quote all them mythical fairy tale scriptures, superstitious rhetoric. He can quote that shit all day. But he has no clue that the original Yehudi Jew, which is his bloodline, comes from Ethiopia, what is known as modern day Africa, borderline Asian. So that gives you a taste of really how delusional our people are. Anyway, moving right along. Video shows police officer beating a homeless woman. I don't know if you all got a chance to see that, but it's really sickening, man, to see them just punishing a sister, a woman, again, mother of civilization, homeless. This cracker got one knee in her back, and he's just beating her with his little baton or whatever, beating a homeless woman. This is unheard of, man. This is like punishment. You putting your hands on somebody, you didn't give birth to that woman. I mean, you just take it upon yourself to lash a person, beat a goddamn person. You supposed to be law enforcement. Ain't got nothing to do with no law enforcement. You doing some old redneck shit punishing, you just whipping somebody's ass. That's what it's called. People can see it. You using your gun and your redneck badge to use your racist animosity to beat on someone with melanin in their skin, and it is very racist. So that's why I said we're at blows. It ain't coming to blows. It's at blows. Now, journalists actually said the U.S. is suffering from a plague of racist police violence, but anybody can see that. Blind man can see that. I mean, police doing shit. You know, it ain't got nothing to do with no damn law enforcement. Because y'all not law enforcement. You have no affidavits. Never, ever, ever, never. And you have no basis of controversy at no time. No time. And in the fact that you are a third party means you never have any first-hand knowledge of anything at any time going down. Why you up in people's face with a damn gun, extorting them out of something, bullying them out of something? But that's up to the person's status. If you're dumb enough to talk to them, that's on you. You should have nothing to say to them. You know, that's how that brother Castile, Fernando Castile, got shot, trying to be honest and admit to this pig that he has a gun. That's a mistake right there. You conversing with them. You want no interaction with these pigs, man. They need to be eradicated from North America. Anyway, Tucker Carlson debated a journalist who published a piece about how America is suffering from a plague of deadly, unaccountable, and racist police violence. The state of police violence and police accountability remains bleak, and the fight for justice continues to be hindered. Celissa Kalikau wrote in Salon. She argued that black and brown people are disproportionately killed by law enforcement. Now, she's doing the work of journalism, but we've seen that already anyway. That they turning up this racist Ku Klux Klan style policing, Nazi style policing on melanin-rich people. Disproportionate melanin-rich people. Shoot them. Pregnant woman shot. 92-year-old woman, sister shot. Baby shot. 14-year-old shot. Brother shot. Back of the head in the back. In front of his 4-year-old. Okay, what's that? That's a certain climate that's been ushered in thanks to Donald Gump. Covert Ku Klux Klan, Donald Gump. You better believe that it's all back to racist sentiments, which it's always been from the beginning. The Ku Klux Klan acts of whatever year that was, they just took their sheets off, man. They can kill more Negroes being white Ku Klux Klan judges, white Ku Klux Klan attorneys. The warden is Ku Klux Klan. Police definitely Ku Klux Klan. U.S. military, young rednecks get in there, they can kill niggas around the world. That's just how they think, and that's what they're doing. But moving right along, how many of y'all knew that Congress just approved of a space corps, like Marine Corps, a special military branch to patrol space? Okay, so they moving on space, and the movies told you everything is about space, seems to be about space. Something's going on in space. Where U.S. Congress, and they getting a lot of flack from this, approved a space corps, like Marine Corps, to patrol space. This particular article says House, meaning the House of Representatives and the Air Force clash over need for separate space corps. It's got something to do with that article, because what it's saying is, again, what the hell is the U.S. military doing patrolling space? Who the hell gave them authorization to patrol space? What they patrolling on Earth don't even belong to them. So they're up in their authority. Who's giving them authority to patrol space? Y'all need to understand that. And their uniforms literally look like the stormtroopers in Star Wars, literally. If you Google the report or the article, you'll see a redneck with shades on. Of course, the shades show that they're demented. They don't want you to see their eyes, but you see a redneck in the front with shades on. I guess he's in charge of this military, like Marine Corps, jarhead type shit. And directly flanking him on the left and right behind him is two stormtrooper looking characters. Their uniform look identical to stormtroopers. And you tell me what that remind you of. That's Star Wars. Empire Strike Back, Darth Vader. I tell you, they talk to you a mile a minute in the movies, but now the stuff is coming to fruition. Moving right along. There's another article, a matter of black criminality and degraded society in Trinidad, where the color caste system in the Caribbean is off the chain. Off the chain. Still exists. The light skin against dark skin, just like the Greek fraternities and sororities. If you look at Spike Lee's School Days, same thing, divide and conquer, but it's a mess in Trinidad and these islands, Caribbean islands, man. They are treating, they call them black, just like they do here, black. They won't even give them enough respect to give them a nationality. But I'm gonna have to expound on this and do something with this, because the article here says the matter of black criminality and degraded society in Trinidad and elsewhere is much greater than just absent black fathers, black on black crime, and poverty of culture. It is the fact that black people in Trinidad and so many other places absolutely refuse to take the steps to better their society, and absolutely refuse to learn anything from the better organized and more stable groups around them, all around them. Take Trinidad as an example. We all know that blacks are a broken people in comparison to the Indians, Europeans, Chinese, Portuguese, Syrian, Lebanese around them. The European colonists broke them, talking about the black people, a long time ago, and the blacks have not recovered from that experience. This is racist right here. I mean, you know, I bet you some damn Trinidad, light-skinned Trinidad is writing this shit. Probably from India. Continuing, it says, so today the blacks whine big time about how bad their society is, the crime, the broken families, the wayward children, etc., and try to blame everybody else for this. But they do little or nothing to improve their community, and worst of all, they decline to learn anything from the other communities around them who have done better. So the Caribbean is marginalizing melanin-rich people, just like the Middle East is doing, just like North America's doing, just like Canada's doing. It is clearly apartheid-based actions, and for the Caribbean to be doing that black, I mean, the Caribbeans are Americana. The original American is copper-colored, so-called black. Now you got all these damn mulattoes, light-skinned. You know, India always had a caste system against dark-skinned people. You know, but this thing is worldwide. So understand the dilemma in the Caribbean against fully melaninated people or melanin-rich people. Just like in Middle East Africa, they just murder you. If you got full melanin in your skin, you can get your head chopped off. Israel's throwing you in jail. They're shooting you because you got full melanin in your skin. So it's clearly a genetic cleansing on this earth against the original people with the genotype, phenotype, and certain blood type. You know, they abhor, somebody abhors your features. They hate your genetics. They hate your genotype, they hate your blood type. And you know, you must have the attributes of God, because somebody hates that full melanin in your skin. They love it, but they hate it at the same time. So understand that. Continuing. Scientists just teleported an object into space for the first time. So they getting into teleportation. Beam me up, Scotty. That's what that was. Beam me up, Scotty, was when you can teleport a human being from one place to another place with some kind of device. So as you can see, all the movies were saying something after all. So again, scientists just teleported an object into space for the first time. MSN.com, you can Google that if you're interested in that. Continuing, North Korea's surprising lucrative relationship with Africa. North Korea's surprising lucrative relationship with Africa. That's pretty interesting because it's saying that the article reads, in Namibia, it says near the southern tip of Africa, 8,000 miles from Pyongyang, this capital city is an unlikely testament to North Korean industry. There's the futuristic National History Museum, the sleek presidential palace, the sprawling defense headquarters, and the shadowy munitions factory. They were built or are still being constructed by North Korea for a profit. So what this is saying is when the United Snakes and their cohorts, NATO and allied forces, put sanctions on brown-skinned people like Korea and Africa, well, let's say Korea, China, Asia, they expand their operations to Africa, selling them munitions and armament, things like that. So North Korea does have their hands in Africa. As you know, Asia overall got a significant hold, in Africa, which is not necessarily a bad thing if you look at it. That's black and brown people forcing to align with each other, whether y'all like it or not. I mean, Africa do need logistics that China and stuff got, Asia got. In order for Africa to defend themselves, they do need to be industrialized. So I say, it's a good thing if Africa understands that, somebody gonna deal with them, either the imperialists, Queen of England, or the Pope gonna deal with them, or they're gonna deal with brown-skinned people. I'd rather it be China. Makes sense to me, especially what's going on. Continuing, Chicago Antifa opens self-defense gym to fight white nationalism in Trump's America. And they spell America with 3 Ks. America. Chicago has a group called Antifa, stands for anti-fascism, opens a self-defense gym to fight white nationalism. And I think this is a sister who heads this Antifa project. Much kudos to the sister. She got common sense. She's using common sense. Self-defense gym to fight these crackers. And you better be practicing at the damn shooting range to blow their brains out. That's what I'm talking about. We need a militia. Muslims need a militia on this land mass. You got a right to a goddamn militia like everybody else. Especially when all these acts have been geared towards Muslims. I can't see why a sister in her right mind, you call yourself Muslim, why you don't have some type of organization, why you floating around here 8 o'clock at night in hijab, taking a bus and stuff. Like, where is your crew? Where is your mobile support, limousines, buses, or vans that's supposed to be getting y'all around? Where's your sense of community? See, but anyway, that's pretty impressive. Antifa, Chicago Antifa opens self-defense gym to fight white nationalism. They're not talking about no damn turn the other cheek, sissy soft sucker bullshit, and non-violence. They're talking about protecting their people and your members. If you care about your members, damn it, you're gonna protect them. Especially in this climate of mad dog, rabbit animal, Ku Klux Klan style, provocations, physical provocations leading in death and being abused. I mean, you got any worth, you should know what to do. So much respect, and again, bravo to the Muslim sister who's leading this Antifa self-defense gym. She's in the same mindset I'm in. I can support that. I don't support no we shall overcome, turn another cheek. That shit's over with. Continuing, Amnesty says U.S.-led coalition may have committed war crimes in Mosul. Of course they are. Of course they have. Of course they have. Because Donald Trump is a war criminal. Him and his son should be beheaded immediately and arrested, his scumbag administration. But anyway, Amnesty International says U.S.-led coalition may have committed war crimes. Of course, everybody knows that. UN knows that. Continuing. Republican Governor Chris Christie is criticized for declaring a New Jersey beach closed to the public due to the supposed government shutdown. And then him and his family went to the beach at the exclusively enjoying the whole beach. Okay, now Christie, Republican, at one point he hated Trump, but now all of a sudden Trump came and met him. Now all of a sudden he's chummy with Trump. But look what this cracker did. It shows how stupid the people are, really. It's a test of how dumb the people are. He declared a New Jersey beach, closed to the public. We all know the public is a code word. It's an artificial jurisdiction, make-believe jurisdiction that doesn't exist. All right, and we know the people are the sureties for the public. Okay, so he declared that New Jersey beach closed. Had something to do with this alleged government shutdown, which these are fronts. Ain't no damn government shutdowns. Every time they do that, they gain more power, more Nazi-style power. This is a classic case. So he declared the Jersey beach closed to the public due to a supposed government shutdown. Then him and his family went to the beach and enjoyed the whole beach to them damn selves. So he ain't even following his own declaration of the beach being closed. What's that telling you? They're not you and you're not them. He's telling you something he clearly has no intention of following. And you dumb enough to follow it, then he walks in and get all the goodies. That's like you hungry and you going towards a pear tree to eat, and some Judas type character come tell you, oh well, yo, you don't want to eat that, man. That tree is poison. Yeah, everybody knows that tree is poison. That peach tree is poison. You don't want to eat that. You might want to go to, another tree. Then when you leave that tree alone, he goes and get all the peaches and eat, and you die of starvation. But this fat bastard, man, manipulated the people, psychologically manipulated the people for whatever agenda, under whatever the guise of a government shutdown. And him and his whole family, a total of about seven of them, got this whole beach, fresh sands to themselves to enjoy. But that shows how dumb the people are. Fell for the okie doke. It's an okie doke. The public capacity is an okie doke. All these government shutdowns are okie dokes. But the people that fell so asleep don't know who they are. So, you get what you pay for. You that dumbed down to follow this devil. And how can they declare natural land off limits to natural people? That right there is I don't care. And they doing it through the guise of a public front. And the people fall for it. They must be Christians. Anyway, moving right along. Female police officer killed in New York. Her name is something familiar, I forgot her name, but female police officer shot in the head. Because you sisters don't know what the hell you're getting into when you put that uniform on. You want to look at it as a job. No, it's different. It's more deeper than a job. This is a long entrenched war in North America. It's war. It's a battlefield. North America is a battlefield. And the pigs present a war. So you dumb enough to put a uniform on and don't know the ramifications of the war, or you don't know the details of the war, that's on you, sister. We all know y'all sisters are out of place, out of your damn natural mind, out of your natural mind. You're out of, you know what I mean? You're out of your natural place. You're out of your natural role. Can't tell y'all nothing. But they had a memorial and a dedication event in one of those big churches at the Grand Concourse in the Bronx. And this white devil's probably some kind of police captain. He just sitting there lying through his damn teeth, man. He did like a eulogy, a dedication for this African-American so-called black officer that was shot in the head. And all he did is lie through his teeth about how brutal the killing was and how she was assassinated in cold blood. But this is what you pigs been doing from day one. What's the difference? Ever since their inception, the police, they've been doing shit, assassinating melanin-rich people. So we supposed to have some crocodile tears over a female pig, a Negro pig who don't know what the hell she doing, getting shot. She just in the middle. She don't even know why she getting killed. She's just cannon fodder. Collateral damage. You know, why are there not any events held by the Fraternal Order of Pig Police to reveal the very origin of police in North America? That would be very interesting, very revealing. Why are they not telling the origin of police in North America? We do know police are not constitutionally created and they're not constitutionally authorized. But you can rent all these stadiums to hold your fake public relation events and city events where you're giving out bottled water to the children and all that bullshit. Tell the people the origin of the pigs in North America. That's what you do, and give a thorough report on your origin. And you're not constitutional. That's all that matters. You're not lawful. You're not law enforcement officers. So y'all doing all this killing for who? Okay, police always have been third-party mercenaries for the British Crown and ultimately the Catholic Christian Pope. All of the melanin-rich people that they have murdered and terrorized just in New York alone. There's one incident in New York where the police took a bathroom plunger and shoved up the brother's ass and put it to the nose and made him smell it. This is the pigs in New York. But yet they want to cry crocodile tears for one officer who's been ambushed, naturally calmer. You know, what the hell y'all think this is? Y'all think people gonna keep lying down and taking this bullshit? And does that sound like a police officer? What mindset can a police officer have a gang of them to jump a brother, gang bang a brother, gang rape a brother, and take the handle of a police plunger and stick it up his ass and then put it to his nose? What kind of mindset are you dealing with? Are you dealing with a sane person? What sane person is supposed to be a citizen upholding morality and all this bullshit? Hell with you fucking pigs, man. Hell with you pigs, all of you. These sadistic killer ass pigs need to be eradicated immediately from North America. That's how we should be seeing their presence. They have a foul presence, foul odor in North America that's no longer needed. And they're dangerous. And they're very, very provocative and naturally getting people to defend themselves and do whatever need to be done, whether they blow their ass away, you find one, stab one, whatever. They causing that. They have caused people to defend themselves rightfully against what they project and what they portray, which is Nazi-style murder, sadistic-style pain, brutal-style aggressive attacks on melanin-rich people, which we all seen a surge come up. They have gotten into the people's psyche and convinced them that they are needed, police are needed, and that they actually work directly for the people. This is what this cracker's saying at this dedication for this officer in New York. He's psyching people into the fact that, trying to say, oh, we work for you. Y'all need us. We work for you. Bullshit. You ain't never worked for the people. It's the furthest thing from the truth. So, should be a moratorium on these pigs in North America. First of all, let's have an event and let the pigs show up and tell what is their origin of them being on this landmass, and you'll see it's nothing good, it's nothing for you, never have been. But it's starting to come to the surface who they really work for. Moving right along, Maryland Transit Administration holds bogus public relations event to bullshit the people. There's a YouTube floating around with that same title, Maryland Transit Administration holds bogus public relations event to bullshit the people. It's done in like 6 parts, each of them about 12 minutes, but very interesting because, you know, things are popping off with this, you know, Maryland or Baltimore has this new Baltimore Link system, which is bullshit. The people are feeling it's bullshit. People are feeling that it's racist, eugenics. And you'll see the people honorably go off at this event and really take the event over. Power to the people. And what was interesting is what a panelist said. They made this panelist come out and tell the truth of what this bustling really means. And what he said was interesting. Okay, that's power to the people. The people came on so strong and took that event over. Where they, you know, it was supposed to be a bullshit Q&A public relations event, but the people weren't having it. It didn't turn. It wasn't no Q&A. The people took it over and just expressed themselves and told what they feel is going on, which they said is racism and a gentrification. Back to that word, gentrification. First 3 letters, GEN, genetics, because that's what it all boils down to. But again, it was very interesting what a panelist said. That he blew everybody's mind when he said yes, it is racist. And you know, if you follow these type things, you can hear what came out of his mouth for yourself. If you just go to YouTube and type that in, Maryland Transit Administration holds bogus public relations event to bullshit the people. You know, you clearly see that melanin-rich people are catching pure hell. It's a Holocaust type sentiment, and that's what it is, a Holocaust. They're reverting to murdering our people. They didn't turn that shit up thanks to Donald Trump. And where it is, Maxine Waters got a $4.3 million mansion. The Congressional Black Negro Caucus ain't worth shit. I mean, she said some words. She knows how to run a good game, but she's going to impeach Trump. But the fact is, all of them are millionaires, and they don't work for you. The de jure Congress has been nullified and suspended since 1861. But Maxine Waters' word is she got a $4.3 million mansion. So is she really ready to buck and come up out of that? You know, but the truth is being exposed, and the heat is being exposed on these house Negroes, all of them. You know, we getting shot in the street, and then you won't hear a damn thing by no damn Cummings. Elijah Cummings. You look at the bags under his eyes, man. He's hurting. He's a sad soul, man. Then you got this other damn Gump. What's this Negro's name? Every time you turn around, he talk about damn civil rights. Martin Luther King. What's this other damn Gump name? Congressman. It'll come to me in a minute. But somebody say he's a faggot. He looks like one. Every time you see him, he going the fuck off and hollering at the top of his lungs what King would do. And man, that shit is dead. Y'all are useless Negroes. Congressional Colored Black Coon Caucus. What's this sucker's name, man? It'll come to me, but he's a piece of nothing. Nothing. But continuing the latest, Italy's migrant crisis is spawning new protests. You know, as you can see, Europe is uniformly crapping on melanin-rich people. All of a sudden, you know, melanin-rich people are being marginalized out of Europe when there was no ancient Europe. Melanin-rich people are from Europe. They're the ancient people of Europe. Now all these colonial outposts set up, these colonies colonial territories, Switzerland, France, Paris. And they got all this enforcement to set up borders, just like racist United Snakes, to marginalize the original people. Anyway, that article, Italy's migrant crisis, is spawning new protests. What's the crisis? Cracker, you ain't from Europe. That's the crisis. Nobody put up borders, at least didn't put up enough borders for all these crackers that can go wherever they want to go. And now melanin rich people are borderline. Moving right along, body camera video shows police trying to explain why they pulled over Florida state attorney. As you know, Florida got the so-called black first state attorney. That's the setup right there, black. And the pigs pulled her over. Pigs pulled her over. Especially because she's doing away for the death penalty. She ain't executing no brothers for this cracker system. You know, and they threatened her. They threatened her. Ku Klux Klan. They threatened to lynch her. They called in and threatened to damn lynch her. Okay, because again, she came in and said, "I'm not, you know, we gonna stop this death penalty of just murdering brothers for no reason, especially ones that's framed for killing a damn pig." They want them to have the death penalty. The sister said, "No, hell no." In other words, all the shit you crackers been doing, lynching. You know, in other words, they want the death penalty to work one way to kill a brother. You kill these crackers, these redneck crackers, Confederate crackers. Ex-Ku Klux Klan ain't never been lynched, ain't dead yet. Sister said, "I'm not lynching no, I'm not killing no more brothers for y'all racist white system." And they threatened her with being lynched. So now all of a sudden she being pulled over by the redneck Florida State Police. And you know they know who she is. She got to have some tags or something that says she's a damn state's attorney. But very interesting article. Article reads, it says there was nothing unusual about a June 19th traffic stop in Orlando except the driver happened to be Florida's first African-American state attorney, who also happens to be in a legal fight with the governor over the death penalty. So she's standing up to the redneck governor, whoever that might be, again over the death penalty. They want her to fry some Negroes, and she said, "I'm not doing it." I mean, obviously the death penalty is rigged and it's racist. 2 Orlando police officers told prosecutor Aramis Ayala, interesting name, Ayala. I like to know what that is. That sounds either Native American or... But 2 Orlando Pig police officers told prosecutor Aramis Ayala they stopped her because her car tags didn't come back registered to any vehicle and because the windows were tinted. It says they were polite, and Ayala said in a statement that the stop appears to have been consistent with Florida law. However, she also said she violated no law and sees the incident as a point of dialogue with the police chief as she seeks better relationships between police and the community. She further went on and says that my goal is to have a constructive and mutually respectful relationship between law enforcement and the community. This sister better wake the fuck up, because she done stood against the Ku Klux Klan, against the death penalty. Alright, they already got her marked. And she don't know. They will put a bullet in her damn head and throw her ass in a river. She better get some protection. She riding around in a regular car. She better get her a damn SUV like the rest of these capitalist crack-ass criminals do. She better get her a black SUV with some bodyguards and bulletproof vests, bulletproof windows anyway, and protect herself, because they already got her marked. She can play naive if she want. These sisters play naive and they don't understand the damn war they in. They will put 2 shots in her head so quick. You know, she done already broke the stick. She done stood up to the damn governor, racist governor, that she ain't gonna kill no Negroes. So they want her dead. She done got death threats. So, sister, don't be naive. You better protect your damn self. They didn't already shot one sister, a judge in New York, Muslim judge, and threw her ass in the Hudson River face down. You know. So anyway, that's the news. I just wanted to get the news out the way. There's always something going on, but now let's get back to this Pinckney dude, this Christian preacher. Pardon me for a second. This Ed Pinckney dude, so-called reverend. Again, I'm not going to call you reverend because I don't revere any flesh and blood man or woman. Recently released from prison for being framed for some BS charges. They recently put him in for blowing the whistle on the Flint, Michigan's poisoning of the water. If you all want to hear the entire show that I heard, that hosted him upon his release, that show aired about 2 weeks ago, you can go to a show called Dry Bones Blog Talk Radio. Helios Biblios Hour. Guy goes by the name of Dry Bones. Aired approximately 2 to 3 weeks ago. I suggest you check it out. Very informative show. And I'm going to say, first of all, during that particular show, Dry Bones started off the show with a rap tune by Jay-Z, where he starts saying that house nigga, field nigga, light nigga, dark nigga, how they all the same. You know, well, what kind of nigga is Jay-Z? I tell you, I'm not a fan of his. You know, what is he, a capitalist nigga? You know, all he talks about is the crooked system of capitalizing, which makes him a crooked nigga. In this particular tune by Jay-Z, you know, in the lyrics it says, you want to know why, what's more important than throwing your money away in a strip club? And his answer is credit. You know, he always tries to sound like he knows so much about what's going on, but he ain't telling the whole thing. He's giving you nothing. Giving you nothing. You're going to talk about credit, man. You got to talk about the status and the history of credit on this landmass. So he's not fully explaining the concept of credit, which is based on one's status, on being a true creditor. And his little young dumb fans actually believes he's saying something so deep, when in reality he's not telling them a damn thing. Then another part of the lyrics of the same tune says, you want to know why Jewish people own all of the property in America? But he doesn't answer that. But you know, you ain't gonna definitely get into the origin of these Caucasoid monsters. They're not even the real Jews. You're not gonna do that, Jay-Z. Alright? Then he goes on to say, in his same tune, financial freedom is my only hope. You know, he goes on to say, I bought some artwork for $1 million. 2 years later, it's worth $2 million. 2 more years worth later, it's worth more, $8 million. You know, this is bogus wealth. That's bogus capitalist wealth. You know, he's always measuring the worth of everything with these Khazarian Jew monopoly game fiat currency. You know, that's man-made value. Man puts a fake wealth dollar amount on paintings and land and shit like that. Nature doesn't do that. This white man's capitalism nightmare is the greatest demise of original aboriginal peoples around the natural globe. So all of this talk about owning property and land is bogus on its face, as no one can own any part of this earth, as they did not put it here. So when one says they own real property, they are really saying they own the land, as land supports the real property which it sits on. This is Donald Trump's claim to fame that he is the wealthiest real estate owner, but that's bullshit and bogus. Because he doesn't own a damn thing according to nature. He's a sick, demented pig. Capitalist pig. That's a disease. And Jay-Z seemed to be following the steps of Donald Gump. you know, so I can't, you know, revere Jay-Z and respect Jay-Z. I'm not a fan of Jay-Z. But anyway, that's the song that's played at the beginning of this, kind of like a tribute to this Christian preacher being released from Dry Bones. Y'all can get the archives for yourself. Just go to the archives of Helios Biblios Hour, Dry Bones Blog Talk Radio. And I'm going to further go on and say this is the mindset of the criminal European colonized and capitalist devils which have hijacked the continent of America, like Jared Kushner, Hillary Clinton, Mitt Romney, Bill Clinton. All of them are capitalist pigs. That's all they cared about when they got here, the damn Puritans, so-called Puritans and Quakers. Devils, lying devils. They came in to get some free shit and enslave somebody. Land and people is the basis of power. An article has already recently came out that there's infidelity in Jay-Z's marriage with Beyonce. But we should know that because none of them are based on true love. And he's supposed to be a role model. You know, his wife, Beyonce, done showed her titties, ass, and coochie to everybody on earth. So everybody done sexually had her. You know, you ain't got to physically have her. You didn't have her mentally, visually. So their whole relationship is a front, which means Jay-Z's a front and Beyonce's a front. If she's a front, he got to be a front. You know, he looks like really like a pimp, and she looks like a classic whore. That's what it boils down to. Same thing with Bill Cosby. They put all these tricked out Negroes in front of the masses to be fake mentors, but they are handmade puppets for the satanic elite. You know, the Huxtables, Bill Cosby Huxtables, are non-realistic token Negroes, which Barack Obama and his family seem to be molded after. Bill Cosby already admitted putting sedatives in girls' drinks to have sex with them. That's rape. That's rape. But that's that Greek freak fraternity. What goes in got to come out. They freaks anyway. So he plays this double image, then he wants to come out and do the Huxtable like he's America's black token family. These niggas are sick. And they put that in your psyche. You need to be like them. The damn tricked out Huxtables with no nationality, no native tongue. They put this garbage. The damn fake Jews put that shit out and trick us out away from nationality when they turn around so they can be better Hebrews and stand in your shoes and get the benefits of land in Israel they don't belong, and they don't belong over here. They getting gravy over here, land that don't belong to them. It's coming to blows, man. And if the United Nations saying they occupying that Middle East, Africa, you know they damn criminally occupying Americas. They're not indigenous over here. So, continuing, Dry Bones comes on after Jay-Z tune that he plays and mentions something about the numbers 444, supposedly relating to megahertz and energy. Then Dry Bones says that what Jay-Z's album is supposed to do to people's psyche. You know, like Jay-Z's so metaphysical. I don't see it. I don't see nothing he's doing metaphysical. You know, he throws his little Masonic codes in. Dry Bones being a Mason. You know, but you know, you gotta watch them black Masons. Alright, Jay-Z's clearly capitalizing off his people. You know, but then he wants to, you know, pretend he's dropping these metaphysical Jews and waking the people up with this esoteric knowledge. This bullshit. You gotta play one side of the fence or the other, man. So I don't know what people he's referring to that Jay-Z's album is supposed to psychologically affect. It ain't affecting me. He must be talking about the U.S. sheeple. Sheep like psychologically vulnerable people. Sheep like people. That's sheeple. And I'm not a fan of Jay-Z, so I wouldn't even have heard that tune unless I wasn't plugged into that show. I do not get my metaphysics from Jay-Z. I got my own sources. Jay-Z cannot have it both ways. He can't be presented on one hand as some kind of divine metaphysical guru, and on the other hand displayed being a crooked worldly capitalist devil like a Donald Trump, making money on bogus real estate and bogus whatever man-made value. He can't have it both ways. If you ask me, Jay-Z is using rap or crappy rap as his his platform to support his capitalist agenda. So he's using his sorcery, his sorcery, crappy rap as sorcery. Because I don't see no skills he got. I really don't see none. Me growing up in Nyack, Spring Valley, knowing what rap, his hip-hop was, doing it in the park, back there in the age of Grandmaster Flash and Africa Bambaataa, I know what hip-hop had potential to be. Very metaphysical, very positive, healing for people who had nothing, to now turn it into all these pranksters, wanksters, and fake gangsters who's exploiting our people like the white man with a so-called black face. Anyway, now we're gonna get back to this Pinckney character. It's my position that he did speak a truth, but you know, anybody can speak a truth to the people. When he blew the whistle on what they was doing in Flint, Michigan, that's an honorable truth, that he basically said that they was doing that and they was gonna do it, and what the agenda was to, you know, clear that area out, gentrification. Honorable for a Christian preacher, but anybody should do that. You should have even more of a inclination to speak the truth, being a so-called man of God. You know, as God, you know, truth and godliness share the same space. Truthfulness is definitely next to godliness, in my opinion. So, you know, to speak the truth is the epitome of being God's man. But question is, Ed Pinckney, is this Pinckney dude a 501c3 state-controlled Christian preacher? If so, he knew what he was getting himself into. If he took the cookies from the state corporation to be tax exempt, he know what that 501c3 entails. That he can't speak politics from the pulpit or anywhere else. State came up with the ploy to give the 501c3 tax exemption privilege to the agents of the Mother Church of Rome in order to use them to keep the sheeple, that sheep-like people, passive, obedient, non-threatening, non-violent, non-aggressive. Pinckney know that, or they should have known that. Any Negro who got that 501c3. So, you know, you can't have it both ways. My question is, if you listen to the archives, the audio archives on Dry Bones show of this man getting released, you know, why didn't Pinckney invoke the straw man fraud as his main defense? That's my question. Why didn't you invoke that to that judge, that they not even using flesh and blood people? Both persons at all times on a court docket are artificial, fictitious, legal entity, corporate people. You know, why didn't Pinckney invoke that? I certainly did. You know, my God told me to invoke that on them crackers. You know, who got a claim? You can't have this Pinocchio puppet doll, that's for sure. So if this Pinckney guy is supposed to be some sort of beacon of light and truth for the people, my thing is, what is his status now that he's out? Is he on probation? Does he have some kind of ankle does he have some kind of ankle bracelet on around his neck, state binding device to know where he is? Is he what do you call it, home jailed? What do you call it when you confined at the home confined, whatever they call that, house arrest, that's what you call it. You know, all these are still state subjects. Your state subject. You know, is he still serving as surety for the state-created straw man? See, he can't continue to serve two masters. Where is his God? He claimed that when he got out of the belly of the beast, he claimed that when he got put in the belly of the beast, how all the young boys loved him, and how he taught them algebra and about Martin Luther King and all that shit. But why did he not inform them of how North America has been overtaken and hijacked by the unseen hand, which clearly got him? You know, so I got to question the agenda for this Pinckney guy, Pinckney dude. He obviously don't stand for what I stand for. So in other words, his charges are commercial. He should know that. I'm a man of God too. But when these devils kidnap me, the first thing will always be the status of their courts, status of that straw man. You understand? They're using the Pinocchio puppet doll, can't make no claims. The state of whatever cannot be the plaintiff. State of Ohio Incorporated, LLC, can never be no plaintiff, as it cannot construct no damn affidavit that anybody has done anything to it. So they tried this guy, Pinckney. The state tried him. You know, that's a red flag. It seemed like he would have invoked that. But they framed a so-called man of God on commercial charges. All crimes are commercial in their perverted commercial world. They framed the so-called man of God like they do anybody else. So he was no different than anybody else. And this is supposed to be a Christian country. Where's Christ at? There's hypocrisy at every turn in government, schools, churches, hospitals, courts. The ironic thing is all of the other 501c3 Negroes are not saying absolutely nothing. You know, he put them on the spot. By him identifying being a Christian preacher, most likely 501c3, he showed what they ain't doing on a regular basis. T.D. Jakes would never speak out and say that the Flint, Michigan crisis was about poisoning African Americans to get that land, gentrification. He would never do that. You know he's in. He just looks like a slimy nigga, sly nigga. He's in. You know, I got a dibs on him long time ago. Bush gave them Negroes an incentive initiative when Bush got in. So, but there's an article 501c3 exposed by a white preacher. I forgot his name. But you can go to the website http://www.israelitesunite.com/501c3-exposed.html. This is a white preacher saying that he was a 501c3 preacher for like 20 years, 25 years. And he's saying he did more damage to his people with that crap. Because all of the loopholes. You're really an agent of the Mother Church of Rome. And it's ironic that he called his website Israelites Unite. And white people are running to take the place of melanin-rich people. They're fighting you for your space. And all of a sudden a white person is an Israelite? Get out of here, man. You don't have the genotype, phenotype, and blood type to be no damn Israelite. See, it's time to do a blood test on this landmass because everyone's trying to connect to the original people, which is you, natural Asiatic. And you getting your ass kicked on some cock and mamie story of Jesus Christ, and you dying in the streets like a true Holocaust, and they actually turn it up on you, on God's true people. But anyway, yeah, you want to see that video, 501c3 exposed by this Christian preacher. Said he was a 501c3 for like 20 years, and you can hear it out of his mouth. He's saying that shit sells you up the river, and really there's ties to that Christian preacher has no business accepting no 501c3. You know, you're really in bed with the beast. But moving right along, you know, this Ed Pinckney dude does not have an agenda for our people on his landmass, and I don't follow him. Okay, because I'm not Christian. You see, he don't have a clue what he's calling himself Christian. Our people were never fucking Christian, to his expression. You know, Christianity is a concoction, a religious, dogmatic, ideological, superstitious belief system concocted by Constantine. So you're really practicing Constantinianism. That's what it really is, under the guise of Christianity. Okay? And I'm going to mention this link by Brother Todd Sharik Bey. This brother amazes me, man, how every time he talks up to the minute that he's giving up what's going on. This the gospel right here. You ask me, this brother is spreading the gospel, good news of salvation, enlightenment. It's all about truth. It's all about enlightenment. Any prophet came to enlighten the people. It's always that's salvation. But this video is entitled, it says new, and has 3 exclamation marks. Taj Tariq Bey Roundtable, belligerent trustees, fofers, and their unlawful acts of conversion. And he's saying what's really taking place in North America is the de facto trustees that commandeered this land by psychological manipulation and takeover. They are belligerent trustees, and they're not trying to turn trusteeship back over to the original trustees, which is you. Okay? North America is a trust. This land is a trust. And you are the natural caretakers. You are the natural custodians. You are the natural trustees. But you don't know who you are. You've been hit over the head. You are the de jure trustees, but now you got de facto trustees running this fraudulent trust. Queen Bitch of England. Queen Albino Vampire Bitch of England. And the trust, and the Pope, Catholic Christian Pope, they're serving as your de facto trustees, and you sitting here getting murdered and slaughtered, so you won't wake up and take your heirship back. That's why they're killing the heirs. But anyway, you definitely want to see this by Brother Taj Tariq. It's new. Belligerent trustees, fofers. And you look at the word fofer, you see the word fee. Fee, fi, fo, fum, fofer. Fees, tithes, taxes. They're taxing you to death. And this brother, again, is amazing of the information he spits out. Up to date. And he's still making videos to lead our people in the right direction with the truth. The truth is the guide. It ain't the person, it's the truth. But again, he's really doing the creator's work. And you know, Taj got to be about 60 years old by now, man. He's been doing this for years. And the passion to enlighten the people is second to none. This the gospel I follow. This the prophet I follow. The truth. Anybody who's spitting the unconditional truth to me is a prophet in these days and times. And this brother certainly fits that bill when you see the information. I suggest you look at it. Again, new Taj Tariq Bey Round Table Belligerent Trustees, because that's what it is. The United States is a trust. If nobody's telling you that, you know, Ed Pinkney, you need to sit down and learn something. Okay, because you out of whack. You know, you off the mark. Because, you know, you have no agenda for our people. You or Jay-Z. Okay, and even you, Dry Bones, you know, when you look at this video by Taj Tariq Bey, he blows you out of the water. Meaning the knowledge you given, you ain't coming forth with no solutions, man. And you promoting Jay-Z, you repping Jay-Z. He ain't freeing no damn body, okay? And you're supposed to have all these people on your show do not have an agenda to free our people. That's including your Azili Danto. Okay, and then you're supposed to have Runoko Rashidi on your show. He ain't freeing no damn body, flying around making his Federal Reserve notes, flying around with a U.S. passport. Who is he freeing? Most likely Mason. Okay, all these people, man, it has no agenda to free our people. They put out information in order to collect these Federal Reserve notes, but where's the agenda to free our people? And just like Dry Bones showed, excellent information, but I question what your information's for. You ain't delivering no agenda for our people. Taj Tariq Bey does, though. It's called nationality status and getting back in your proper status on this damn landmass. So you let the people decide what Jay-Z is doing in his little crappy rap and what Taj Tariq Bey is doing in these lectures he's putting out. This one being round table on belligerent trustees. That brother's telling you to the minute, to the second. in real time what the hell we going through, natural Asiatics. You can't deny that. And he also got another one about the belligerent trustees. One of three. These are new, so it looks like somebody's trying to put these in some type of a format. But he has two of them labeled belligerent trustees, and you should see both of them. They both on YouTube. One, you get to one, you'll see the other one. But again, I'm impressed how that brother can still give up-to-date, relevant information on exactly what the hell we going through. Nobody's doing that. Nobody I know. Farrakhan ain't doing it. There's nobody left. There's nobody left. You Garveyites ain't doing it. You know, you people following Master Farad Muhammad, you ain't doing it. You understand? This brother is this information is very crucial to your elevation in real time right now on this landmass, because it's something we got to do, and we're not doing it. Simple as that. So much respect to Taj Tariq Bey being the age he is and still kicking out the truth. More truth pound for pound than anywhere, and him being Asiatic and being a Moor. You surely can't disrespect that. I know y'all want to disrespect the Moors, but you ain't gonna be able to keep doing that shit. You know, there's a YouTube running around, the Moors are the biggest race traders to history, bullshit. You know, and I got in somebody's ass, somebody on your show, Dry Bones, that you had on your show. I ain't gonna even mention who they are. You know, I got into them when we got into it. And they agents too against our people. You know what I mean? Team, everybody you surround yourself with, I'll pick them apart, because all I gotta do is hit them with one question, just like I can hit you with one question. You know, we in crucial times, man. Information should be to free the people. You can't free the people if people ain't talking about nationality, getting their status correct, status of law, proper status at law, man. You can't get around that. But Taj Tariq Bey got a information that's worth listening to, because it's basically saying if you ain't right with yourself in the universe, you're done. And if you ain't trying to get right with yourself, divine law, we're suffering from divine law. I can respect that from that brother. So again, I'm recommending you that YouTube video, among others that he done recently, but this one is fresh out the kitchen, and you appreciate it. And you see the people in there appreciating. You got the women supporting them. And it's hard to get a woman to support anything, especially as mixed up as they are, but they supporting this brother and the knowledge he's putting out. So we're gonna continue, because this is the basis of our problem. And I bring that up to emphasize what this Christian preacher did, and they put him in jail. They'll put anybody in jail, man. They'll put anybody in jail. It's the Inquisition. Ed Pinkney should know something about the damn Inquisition, since he's so-called Christian. You know, he ain't mentioned that word one time in that show. What's taking place in North America. You know, he blew it off like, oh, you know, he's straight. Now he out. But no, you're not straight. And our people ain't straight. You ain't giving us nothing to straighten our people out, Ed Pinkney. You know, so I gotta question your agenda. You know, yeah, you spoke the truth and paid the price for it, but you should have known better. You should know what you up against. The Inquisition has always burnt heretics and of speaking against the Pope. Lauryn Hill, they took her down. Wesley Snipes, Inquisition on him, IRS. So what makes you think you different? Again, especially if you got a 501c3. So my reason for doing this particular monologue is we at the crossroads, man. Natural Asiatics in North America is truly at a crossroads. There's no more middle. It's never really been a middle, but we've been frauded and thinking we had a middle. And you got all of these black opportunists, and there are many African American opportunists, colored charlatans, Negro sellouts that come in front of you that pretend they're giving you all this information, but if it's not If the agenda is not to free you with this information, what good is the information? You cannot get around the fact, divine law, that we are suffering from who we are. They know who we are. And they're so scared of us, they are punishing us. And really, theft by conversion. Unlawful conversion. Taj Tariq Bey calls it unlawful conversion. I'm going to tell you what it is. Theft by conversion. That's a crime, a specific style of theft. Theft is a crime, but then there's also something called theft by conversion. A way to do theft, or a way to commit theft. And that's what it is. They robbing your ass blind, man. And the way they do it is they gotta alter your status. You ain't gonna be able to get around the word status. Dry Bones, Jay-Z, Runoko Rashidi, Erzili Danto. They don't mention one word about status. That's how I know that they falling short for a reason. That they must be in some kind of clique, Masonic clique, female Masonic clique, Eastern Star, whatever, that they falling short of giving us the solution. But Taj Tariq Bey, and he is a Moor, proud to say that brother's a Moor, and he's proud to be a Moor, to say the basis of our problem in North America is status. Status is the most significant identity in the world and in the world of law. You're not going to be able to get around it. And we get murdered and getting our ass kicked because we won't come back and proclaim our true status, the highest status on this landmass, being white. White, not talking about the lack of pigmentation in your skin. White, talking about nobility, true nobility, sovereigns of the land. Everybody else is pretending they white and snatching and taking every damn thing out of North America and around the world, especially North America. Anyway, on the website that I gave you all earlier, indigenouspeopledocs.wixsite.com/Asiatic Moorish Nation. I'll give it again before this monologue is over with, this broadcast is over with. There's a section on that site called Investigative Report of the Moors. Investigative Report of the Moors. And you know, if by any chance they take that site down, I also put all of that information in an email. It's about 50 pages, and then I put it in a Word document and gave to the people. So if they take the site down, you still have all of that information in a Word document. But there is a section again, Investigative Report of the Moors. Now, the information goes like this. When one conducts an investigation on an issue of concern, a thorough, effective report is essential to that investigation. And let me say this, in Dry Bones blog talk show, where he hosted the Christian preacher Ed Pinkney coming out, being released, he mentioned something about a Kerner report. You know, that shit means nothing. That really means nothing, because all that's based back on your status. That report does not affect you if you know who you are. And if you know who you are, you will be acting like you know who you are, meaning have a nation with a government, with a military. You got to have enforcement, enforce your nation. You see, under international law, that Kerner report stuff and what these white people are proclaiming means nothing. So I had to mention that, because I'm going to give you an investigative report, the kind of report you need to be looking at when you're in your right status. I'm going to continue. When one conducts an investigation on an issue of concern, a thorough, effective report is essential to that investigation. That's common sense. That's common protocol in the world of investigation, in the method of investigation. The fundamental 6-point key element, let me say that again, the fundamental 6-point key elements to an effective report are who, what, when, why, where, and how. Who, what, when, where, why, and how. I recall being taught that probably in grade school. When you're going to do an investigation, you got to have those elements to strengthen your investigation, support your investigative report. You must make a report when you're investigating something. That's standard. And the 6 elements, key elements of an effective report, or of any report, is who, what, when, where, why, and how. The investigative report on the issue and concern of unfair trade practices by the U.S. federal corporation is conclusive, and the elemental findings are presented as follows. This is in that website under the heading Investigative Report of the Moors. So a report has been concluded on the United States federal corporation, especially with Trump being in office. So again, the investigative report, the elemental findings, the investigative report on the issue and concern of unfair trade practices, which is fraudulent trading by the U.S. federal corporation created in 1871, is conclusive, and the elemental findings are presented as follow, because this, to me, is the basis of our dilemma in North America, that the United Snakes is trading unfairly with our energy by way of them state birth, BERT, trade agreements that was frauded upon our women in order to get that baby, to steal that baby's energy, which they living off of even as we speak. This is our dilemma, underlying dilemma in North America. I don't care what nobody says, which is going to make you proclaim some type of a status and get your status back. But our people are stuck on stupid. We're being led up the river. All this Black Lives Matter, civil rights, affirmative action, fake reparations. You know, John Conyers put in the same tired ass Negro bill of taking a look at reparations for African Americans. That's an okie doke. Again, all them Negroes are millionaires. They lay up in these seats for 20 years and die and get these fringe benefits and pensions, plus all the gravy they done got, them underhanded deals they done signed with all these private corporations. So that's dead. That's a dead issue, man. We've been sold up the river with that bullshit. Anyway, the investigative report on the issue and concern of unfair trade practices by the U.S. federal corporation is conclusive, and the elemental findings are presented as follows. Who? The United States federal corporation, unconstitutionally created in 1871. Understand who we're talking about. We're not talking about the de jure United States of America Republic and all treaties made. Okay, which was handed down by the ancient ones, which has the science in there, the science of government, which was handed down by the original Aboriginal people of this landmass, Native American and the Moors. Okay, so we're talking about the United States Federal Corporation, unconstitutionally created in 1871. February 21st, I believe, or 25th of 1871. Act of Congress. Okay, you can Google that and look that up, where Congress created a corporation. And there wasn't no de jure Congress, unseen hand. So who? United States Federal Corporation. What? Unfair trade practices by way of the knowing and willing operation of crooked, shady, fraudulent business, resulting in theft by conversion of natural land, natural resources, and natural human labor, human resources. When? February 21st of 1871, after the strategically planned U.S. Civil War motivated by religious reasons, which resulted in President Abraham Lincoln being assassinated and the USA Republic being suspended. Where? The natural organic continental American landmass, otherwise referred to as northwest of Mexico, North Gate, Great Turtle Island, Land of the Frogs, Mulan, Atlan, Al-Marak, Al-Maghrib, Al-Aqsa, Egypt of the West, etc. Why? For ill-gotten capital gains and undue monetary wealth, and to commercially, religiously conquer and subjugate the natural lands of North America and the natural people thereof. How? By converting the natural people's natural birth, B-I-R-T-H, immediately into a commercial birth, B-E-R-T-H, through an artificial, fictitious legal entity, corporate, commercial, taxable, debtor, public person, which has been commercially registered at the U.S. Department of Commerce and bonded, commercially bonded at the U.S. Department of Treasury. So that's my elements, 6 elements of the who, what, when, where, why, and how of what we're dealing with and what we should be dealing with and how we should be thinking in 2017 AD in North America, natural Asiatics, and what we should be acting on. Of course, that's on a website, which I call a proposal. The whole website is really a proposal of what the hell we should be doing here, being at war. I call it a war proposal, especially with all this racist Ku Klux Klan type sentiments being perpetrated. I'll continue. The evidence is conclusive, the findings are factual, and the claims are valid, lawfully sound. The certificate of live birth, whether you say B-I-R-T-H or B-E-R-T-H, they both apply because a natural birth took place and they converted it to a commercial birth, B-E-R-T-H. The certificate of live birth, resulting in one being in receipt of a state birth certificate. So your birth certificate is just a receipt that a transaction took place, a commercial transaction took place with a natural child. Is prima facie evidence. And if you don't know what prima facie evidence is, you need to get you a law dictionary. I already said you need to get you a law dictionary, some variation of a law dictionary. Black's Law would be fine, but they're not the only one that make a law dictionary. And get an edition 1 through 4. Prima facie evidence of an implied contract with an entire ethnic group of natural peoples, in which that same ethnic group of natural people were not afforded just due disclosure as to the exact terms and conditions in direct relation to that particular contract agreement. The morality, honesty, and fairness issue comes when that one in this case being the United States, knowingly and willingly gains a monetary benefit off of natural people in a particular agreement in which the natural people have no clue of the dynamics of the predator-prey relationship in that particular contractual relationship. The irony of all this is that the U.S., the United States, or United Snakes, psychotically asserts themselves to be a Christian nation or Christian establishment with a Christian agenda in which they demand that everyone else in the world should follow their Christian footsteps. The U.S. proudly presents to the world well-known Christian psychos and sickos such as Pat Robertson, Jerry Falwell, Billy Graham, Kenneth Copeland, and others, as well as all of these so-called Christian denominations which brutally infested North America from early on, such as Puritans, Quakers, Calvinists, Protestants, Lutherans, Episcopalians, Catholics, etc. One can clearly see Christianity and hypocrisy conveniently share the same space and proudly walk hand in hand. In other words, when you see Christianity, you see genocide, slavery, pedophilia, rape, robbery, murder, bloodshed, aggressive wars under the guise of a damn Jesus Christ saving your soul. This bullshit fairy tale of a damn man on a cross that was bludgeoned for your damn sins and you being bludgeoned for. Continuing, the year is now 2017 AD on the Julian Gregorian calendar, and the arrogant stench of U.S. immorality, hypocrisy, dishonesty, etc. has reached a catastrophically unacceptable level, constituting slavery, genocide, menticide, infanticide, which is the killing of infants, human trafficking, forced labor, mass murder, race extermination, etc., etc., etc. The individual collective bonds, the debt instruments associated with the state birth trade agreement contracts, that have been formulated on an entire race of natural peoples unbeknownst to them have been so lucratively fractionalized through fractional reserve banking, monetized and hypothecated until the natural lives of the same natural people have been completely collateralized to the point of having no more hypothecability, shelf life on the U.S. and foreign financial markets. That's the dilemma we're facing right now. That's why brothers are being slaughtered. If you get a law dictionary, you should know the word. You should get familiar with many words. One in particular is hypothecate. Serious word, because that's what they're doing. The definition of hypothecate is to pledge a thing without delivering the possession of it to the pledgee. The master, when abroad and in the absence of the owner, may hypothecate the ship, freight, and cargo to raise money requisite for the completion of the voyage. So keep in mind that the original certificate of live birth, BIRTH or BERTH, has been formulated on bank note paper, which clearly reveals that this is definitely a banking financial operation. So your original certificate of live birth is where the money is and where the wealth is. That's being hypothecated. That's the commercial paper you can't get your hands on. You'll never get your hands on. Some people claim they got their original certificate of live birth, but that's impossible, because that's known to be in a vault in Switzerland somewhere, in the Bank of International Settlements, which is said to be the personal bank of the Pope. So you don't have your original, because that's the commercial paper they're using to borrow monies and put you in debt. You can get a copy of that or something similar, which is known as a birth certificate, a receipt. You have a receipt that there's a certificate of live birth on file somewhere, but you don't fool yourself. You don't have the certificate of live birth. You'll never get it, because that shows all the original signatures and what took place during your fraudulent birth to you sisters who had no clue what was going on due to y'all being war victims, and y'all still war victims. So keep in mind that certificate of live birth, that original, has been formulated on bank note paper, which reveals that it's definitely a banking financial operation going on in these banks. Filthy banks, English bankers that took over North America 1861 during a coup. That's what Taj Tariq Bey goes in on the coup that took place and the dynamics of that coup. History lessons that you won't hear nowhere. Police ain't telling you. Masons ain't telling you. The church ain't telling you. You see, the banks ain't holding no seminars, definitely ain't telling you. Politicians ain't telling you, mayors and councilmen, governors, what actually took place on this landmass that got us in our damn dilemma that we in now. Okay? How we gonna get out of the dilemma when we don't know what the hell is going on? So again, thanks to the information by brothers like Taj Tariq Bey. He ain't the only one, but he, pound for pound, he gives more information on what's happened and is happening, which to me again is the gospel, the good news of enlightenment, salvation. Because when you know better, damn it, you can do better. It's all about gaining knowledge to take a knowledgeable action at this time. The bottom line is that an entire race of natural people, continuing, the bottom line is that an entire race of natural peoples here on North American soil who have been colonial labeled as the present day Negroes, blacks, coloreds, and Afro/African Americans have been in the front of the entire world, blatantly and brutally robbed, raped, kidnapped, abducted, forcefully assimilated, commercially exploited, held to labor servitude and debt peonage, etc. Now, The shrewd, unfair business of selling U.S. citizenship has become so ruthless and so uncontrollably addictive to the point of being inhumanely cannibalistic, until a commercial commodity product known as the present-day Negro, colored, black, African American has no more sellable desirability, otherwise known as marketability, which equates to no more meat on the bones, and therefore must be commercially replaced with new, desirably sellable, marketable product, which are other so-called black and brown peoples from elsewhere and around the world being commercially frauded into the same U.S. citizenship process. In other words, the commercial commodity product known as the present-day Negro, black, colored, and African Americans must be pulled off the shelves to make space, make room for their new product inventory. And that's what's happening to brown-skinned people being frauded. You know, how can you sell land mass? The United States is not even a country. How are you selling that to natural people? It's a beast. And you got people on a 3-year waiting list in Africa trying to get over here, think they come into the land of damn opportunity and milk and honey. Surprise. You come into the land of the beasts, same beasts that have been raping and robbing melanin rich people. So in the world of retail and wholesale merchandise, and when product is pulled to make way for a newer and more desirable product, the old product can then be discounted, traded, donated, or salvaged, in which all of these commercial options are still a credit to the for-profit corporation, as all commercial product is insured and must be commercially accounted for. In the world of business, any financial loss is a tax write-off, which ultimately results in no loss and no liability to the corporation. So these people are doing crooked business, which is really fraud. They're doing their trickery, slickery and trickery under the guise of business, but it's actually not business at all. You know, when fraud becomes business, when business becomes fraud, it's no longer business. Call it what it is, crime, and criminals need to go to jail. Continuing, what is no doubt taking place right before your very eyes in North America is the commercial salvaging, otherwise known as wholesale physical slaughtering of natural Asiatics who have been colonial labeled Negroes, blacks, coloreds, African Americans. And all of this is being done under the criminal guise of fair commercial U.S. trade and honest U.S. business. If you, again, law dictionary, law term salvage, in maritime law, a compensation allowed to persons whose assistance a ship or its cargo has been saved in whole, part, or in part from impending danger, or recovered from actual loss in cases of shipwreck, derelict, or recapture. Serious word, salvage. And you see, it's a maritime law term because everything is maritime admiralty law of contracts through that 14th Amendment concoction, that public person. You see, that whole public arena, public capacity that's been overlaid over you psychologically is nothing but admiralty, maritime law, law of contract, law of the seas. Continuing, you are now hearing and seeing the brutal rhetorical words and even more brutal rhetorical acts, which clearly suggest the intentional physical extermination, systematic murder of natural Asiatics in North America. Remember, your state birth certificate has been certificated for value. Okay, certificate is a monetary term for value, and pledged as a commodity, while you, the natural person, is unknowingly held as the physical collateral, which serves as the guarantee to collect, or guarantor. When a natural Asiatic is commercially salvaged, physically slaughtered wholesale, it is said to be known that that a death certificate is immediately formulated and also certificated for value. So these doubles are getting paid. They get paid on the back end as well as the front end and middle end. They get paid on all levels of their inhumanely cannibalistic slave operation. You see, all they're doing is creating fraudulent paper, commercial items, and monetizing it. Debt. See, debt is money in their perverted system. This is why the police, aka policy soldiers, show absolutely no emotional remorse like duck hunting season, while they proudly randomly shoot and physically assault, maim, and abuse U.S. Negroes. This is because when they do this, they are actually under the guise of doing business, generating state revenue income for their money masters. Remember, police are corporate revenue agents and commercial business contractors. This is what y'all keep forgetting. This is what y'all keep forgetting. That, you know, this stuff is not gonna stop. And it's actually being turned up. And it's really sickening. But the creator is pulling the cover off of this BS. And we all know that in most holy books, or most books, all of them have some type of scripture that said that what has been done in secret will come to the light. And that's basically what's taking place now. Truth is coming with a vengeance, and it's coming from all orifices of the earth. It's coming from everywhere. The birds are crying truth, the bees, the dolphins. Everything is crying retribution and redemption. Everything's crying to be compensated from these tricksters, these fraudsters that are truly coming down, because everyone knows what they're doing. Okay, that's retribution on their behind, because they can't keep doing to you what they've been doing when you know what the hell they're doing. It's as simple as that. You'll be a fool to know what someone's doing to you and let them keep doing it, especially if that whatever they're doing is detrimental to you. So it's a race against time, and they trying to turn things up where the creator/creatress is turning shit up. You know, they plans are being unraveled, and it's really universal. It's beyond Earth. It's past the physical. I'm gonna tell you all that now. So you better grow up and get your mind right and get your damn head right, and grow up and deal with this thing, and stop acting like little, snaggletooth, pissy little stepchildren. You don't know what to do, because you're gonna be slaughtered, as you're being slaughtered now. They ain't turning down, they turning up. But it's something you can do. You're supposed to be gods and goddesses of the earth. It's on you. You got the golden brick. You can trump. Better yet, checkmate that sucker. Don't trump him. Checkmate him. This is chess, not checkers. See, he's playing a wicked card game. You turn this card game over and checkmate his ass. Only you can do that. When you get in your right status, which is going to encompass nationality, correct identity. You ain't gonna be able to get around that. You're not gonna be able to get around that. You are out of the divine law. You're out of law, and there's obviously riches in getting you out of law. These suckers making a killing. All these devils, Kushner and all of them. Look at this devil, man. Everybody in Trump's team learns to be cold-blooded capitalists. I tell you, he don't even want you on his team unless you got the ability to be cold and callous, like Ben Carson. If you ain't cold and callous, you just need to be a yes man. That's good enough for him. Just say yes sir, no sir. When he tell you to do something, damn it, you do it. That's good enough for him. Which has to do with sucking the blood of people. Capitalism is everything about stealing land and killing the people to get to the land. That's it. And he hasn't displayed capitalist tendencies more than almost anybody you ever seen. He got capitalism, man, coming out of his eyes, coming out of his ears. He just looks like a cold nothing. And everybody around him, he teaches to be just like him. Even his damn Slovenian white slut wife, Melania. Teaches them how to be capitalist pigs, selling all that them overpriced goods where they make 5,000%. And you got some people right here on this landmass, man, thrown out in the street. Can't even get a bite to eat, and these devils making 5,000% on that product that they making from slave camps. These people are demented. They got to go. Their mindset got to go. And really, the universe, the natural universe, and the natural earth is crying for redemption, crying for restoration. So it's an honorable act to stand up and speak the truth, and not even do more than that. Take these suckers down and rebuild a new set of mind, a new government. That's what needs to be done. These people need hands on them. You catch Trump, beat his ass into a coma, all of them. That's why they got all these damn bodyguards and planes flying arrogantly over your head so you can't get them. But that plane got to land sometime. And when that sucker lands, it's got to run out of fuel, goddammit. When that sucker lands, it should be 5,000 people there to rip his ass apart, rip that plane apart. That's the kind of justice coming to this earth right now. Redemption. It ain't going to be pretty. It ain't going to be pretty. Truth is coming with a vengeance. It's here with a vengeance. And there ain't nothing punkified about the truth, sissified about the truth. When the truth come and make people do what they got to do to gain redemption and retribution, and that's what it is. You know, the bloodsuckers that went too damn far. They messing up the earth while it's fracking, and they don't care. And they trying to get to other planets to do the same thing. They must be taken down and uprooted. So I'm gonna wrap this blog talk up. I'm gonna wrap this YouTube video up. I'm not gonna go 3 hours like I usually do. It's like the 2-hour mark now. But I felt the need to speak on this Christian preacher being released from the belly of the beast after 6 months. But again, what does that mean now? What does that mean now? I mean, you know, he hasn't clarified any agenda, what we need to be doing. He just hasn't done that. You know, and again, what is his status? Is he on house arrest? Does he have an ankle bracelet? Is he on probation? You know, all of that is not good. If they scooped down and got you before, can they get you again? Are you compromised? Are you going to keep your mouth shut? You see? What good are you to the people? What can you recommend to the people for them to do? You know, you stood up boldly and spoke the truth. That's an honorable thing. But you know, you're going to lead our people, man. You got to do better than that. You got to do better than that. Unless you're going to get somebody killed and hurt. We need a nation. We need a nation of 1 million people going hard, going strong on the truth. We don't need no more kamikaze pilots where one person speaks the truth and gets squashed out. We need everybody. Man, woman, and child. We don't need to lose nobody else to no beasts. They have killed more than enough of our people. And this ain't no game. This is not a talent show. It's not a talent contest. Celebrity contest where you speak the truth and you know, get killed for no reason and get inconvenienced, because they're gonna move on you financially. You know that. They're gonna put the IRS on you. Inquisition Revenue Service. Todd calls them appropriately the Inquisition Revenue Service, because that's what they are. So-called Internal Revenue Service. They're gonna cut your money off through that straw man and starve your ass to death. There's a saying that the way to stop a revolutionary, cut his money off. Okay, if you notice anybody who says something against the Pope and the Pope system, automatically what? IRS charges. Automatically. They hit Wesley Snipes, IRS charges, Inquisition. They hit Lauryn Hill, she spoke out against the Pope, IRS on them. They either get you with the IRS or child molesting, like they did Michael Jackson. One or the other. Okay, and most of these actors died of what? Tax evasion. While they dying, they owe the damn IRS, whether it be Red Fox or whoever. Certain boxers. And tax evasion is an inquisitional act. So truth is coming with a vengeance, and it's a beautiful thing to be a part of truth, but you better be part of a nation. You better have some enforcement. There's no reason for you to be out here by yourself. You better align with like minds, and you better prepare for war. You're at war. You better protect yourself. You have a right to defend yourself and protect yourself. The hell with what they say. Get protection. Arm yourself any way you can by any means necessary, especially with these attacks. I don't care what you have, knife, bat, gun, legally, illegally. Protect your damn self. No pig can tell you when to live and when to die for failing to protect yourself. You don't call them, you already know what side they work on. You'll be a fool when danger's facing you. Somebody coming to take you off the planet, you trying to call 911. The hell with 911. You better stand strong, and hopefully you got a team, a strong team. Stop rolling alone. Protect yourself. You know what I mean? Learn how to shoot, learn how to fight, learn some jiu-jitsu, learn some martial art techniques. Learn some warfare techniques. But the best way to do all that is through a nation. If you had a nation, you can teach Taekwondo. You can teach Kundalini for war purposes. It's all war. It's all war. And that's what we need. We need a nation as a vehicle to defend ourselves in war. To be offensive in war and defensive in war. We need a nation. We need war departments. You need war ministries. Ministry of Defense, Ministry of Healthy Food. You need some kind of journalistic department, media department. Okay? But when you have a nation, you have a right to have all that. You ain't got a nation, then you know what you working with. What you working with. Too many of our people have been took down senselessly. There's no need for that. Instead of one telling the truth, how about 10 million telling the truth at the same time? Through a war organization, a war entity. I don't know if you all know the dude Kaepernick. I don't even follow sports that much, but everybody knows Kaepernick. With that big afro, you can clearly see he got Moreno in him. Clearly. That brother got an afro the size of an oak tree. But, you know, he stepped up, and I love to see athletes step up and buck the system. You know, we all know he stepped up and he bowed on one knee in contravention to the U.S. national anthem, corporate national anthem. That brother bowed on one knee and wouldn't stand for that bullshit. Very powerful act. And the usual devils went at him, cut his money. But I thought he was going to stop. I thought they was going to get to the brother and compromise him. But it actually didn't work. He's turning up. That brother's turning up. That brother, you know, just recently, he said some words against July 4th bullshit. He said July 4th holiday is hypocritical, which is true. And he said, you know, while we celebrating July 4th, the U.S. is doing something to Africa, always bombing Africa. And this brother said something. He traced his lineage from Ghana. He got bloodline from the land from Africa, Ghana, which is really East Asia. So that's what's in him. The truth of who he is makes him tell the damn truth. Again, the status when you know who you are. You have no fear in telling the truth, speaking, you know, truth to power. But this guy traced his lineage back to Ghana, Africa. Said he's from Ghana. Okay, and he's saying the July 4th is a trick, is hypocrisy, further hypocrisy of the U.S. West. Very, very, very refreshing to see this brother being an athlete, a sports figure, taking a stand to speak revolutionary truth based on historical facts, and he ain't bound to the white Jews that's paying him. You know, he obviously ain't a dog on a leash like you think. He's smart enough to know that, okay, if I'm gonna speak the truth, then damn it, I'm gonna continue making my money and supporting myself. You see, so he's turning it up. He didn't stop. Like a lot of them get pressured by the fake Jews and say, hey, I'm warning you, I'm gonna ruin your career, you ain't gonna be to eat. And a lot of them Negroes flip-flop and start apologizing and shit. You know, that shows what's in you. Like Serena Williams, they broke her a long time ago when she said to the referee of tennis that, you know, she should shove the ball down their fucking throat. Very revolutionary, very, you know, Asiatic, Moorish, war type stuff. But then the white man came and broke her. They started cutting them damn endorsements, them diamond commercials she do, where all she got to do is do a little trick that commercial. She got free diamonds and eating good. You know, she took the cookies. She ain't ready to lose that. So that cut her revolutionary stuff off right there. To the point that she done married a white man and procreating with a white man. That show you which route she took. She ain't never had no revolution. She got beautiful genes, genetics of a Amazon woman, Moorish woman, Asiatic woman, Africoid woman. You can't deny that. The energy that resonates from that lady, from that girl, her features, beautiful, majestic features, strong bones, strong genetics. But then she turns around and marry a damn Euro-Albion and procreate with a Euro-Albion. What's that all about? Security. See, the white man done got in her mind. But Kaepernick ain't doing that. Well, I don't know who he married, but I know he's stepping up big with his little, you can call it a protest, but, you know, he's still protesting and they didn't break him. So they obviously know how to make Federal Reserve notes. When you're an athlete, when they try to move on you, man, there's so many things you can do to make money. You can write a book. You can make a movie deal. They can't stop you. If you are known in the sports world, so many things you can do. People still love you. You can always get endorsements. To hell with the NFL franchise, which is nothing but slavery, modern day slavery. You prove your worth to them. You should know the worth to yourself. Michael Vick is another one. To hell with apologize to these devils begging for your job back. You made them crackers money, them devils money. What you doing? Because they making money off you. You should know your worth. You can write a book and you can move somewhere to Brazil and be a superstar to your own people. Like dumbass OJ, it's good for his ass. You know what I mean? He's stuck on that white cracker. The white cracker's crack. You can't leave that white crack alone. The crack of the white female. You know what I'm talking about. He addicted to that. You know, there's so many things he could have did, but he didn't sold out his race. The damn, your race don't even want you. That's a death within itself. Your people don't want you. You can't come back to the hood and say nothing to the people. You done right there. So they done played you out. Then when you don't walk the line, then they got your ass. Now they want you. They getting you. You can't run to your people and get a bowl of soup and a sandwich. You're done. Your ass is out the left field. Nowhere to go. They got you. Now a lot of you don't know OJ's coming up for appeal in jail. You think they gonna let that nigga out? What do you think? The appeal process ran by third party. That ain't even constitutional. So you know they're gonna let his ass stay in. They want his ass to die in jail. Simple as that. Think he had some kind of liver problem or whatever. They said, fuck that, nigga. Fuck you, die, nigga. He's a stupid nigga. That white judge told him when she got him, we got you now. We got you. We got you. And they got him. They want that nigga to die in jail, man. But that's what you get when you sell your race out and you don't know who you are. That's what you get when you don't know your status. You fall for that white man's cookies. You know, you playing with the white man's balls. You see, you don't know, it's playing you out. It's really modern day slavery. You know, transatlantic slave trade, sports, NBA draft, and the draft, picking a big black buck, put on your team. That's nothing but plantation type stuff. Tiger Woods is another one. But when will a lot of people ever learn, man? $1 million Negroes, and you done sold your race out. I can't do that. Can't do it. I got to stand for something, especially times we're in now. I must stand for something. Anyway, hopefully you got something out of this blog talk. Because I keep saying blog talk. YouTube. You know, I don't be talking for my health. You know, you go to that website I gave you, I do advocate wholeheartedly, unapologetically, nationalism, nationhood, unapologetically, self-determination, self-identity, self-autonomy, more than ever. Especially now this cracker got the nerve to formulate his mouth white nationalism. Ain't no such thing as no white nationalism, ain't no such thing as no black nationalism. But you get the point. They talk about doing for their own on this landmass. And we should be even doing better for our own. Having the parent genes of this continent. Genotype, phenotype, and blood type. Look at the character Lucy they found. That's all you need to know. I got the status of whatever Lucy was, and she wasn't no Negro, black, colored, African American. She wasn't running around picketing Black Lives Matter. Okay, I'm what she was. Whatever political formation she had, that's what I want. Sovereign or slave. All right, we need to get back to who we are. We got the original nationalities on this continent, on this earth. The cracker's not natural nowhere on this earth, let alone North America. It's a battle for North America and the resources. And they killing Negroes so they can have all the resources of this continent. And them fake white Jews are there. Another counterpart of the cracker. They got to be dealt with too. I can see now that, but we letting them slide with too many passes. Because we done been Christianized out. We think they're the real Jew. The hell they the real Jew? But we done been pacified, stuck on stupid. But we better get our mind right, because they are turning up the extermination, man. If I ever seen it, extermination of melanin-rich people, and the pigs being the third-party mercenaries. Okay, they contracted to kill Negroes from day one. Again, if they was on the up and up, they would immediately have an event that would tell the origin of the police here in North America. What is their origin? That would be an excellent show for whatever, History Channel, or for any. You know the churches ain't gonna do it, but that would be an excellent show to show and prove of what their origin is, and you see their origin really comes from the Emancipation Proclamation of all these damn unruly Negroes running around that they had to quell and guide these Negroes, regulate these Negroes that's been just released on this landmass with no nationality. Again, Michelle Alexander's book does more to educate you on that. What little she does goes a long way when she tells you the police was formulated directly after 1865, when the public person 14th Amendment got brought on the scene. And you know, they had to do something with all these Negroes with no nationality. Really chaos, man. And it's still been that. It's still going on. Chaos. Never stop. Why? Because the Negro won't declare nationality, won't even look at the concept of nationality. They won't get back in the law for nothing. You can't pay them to get back within the law. They're scared to get within the law. They talk all this other bullshit, but will not get within divine law for nothing in the world. So therefore, divine judgment is against them. You prone to be exterminated according to divine law. You can't blame nobody else. There's nobody to blame anymore. You want to exist. You don't want to exist within the law. Law has protections, divine protections. You want to exist without the law, then get exterminated. I'm not shedding no more tears for Negroes no more. No more crocodile tears. I shed my last tear on Katrina. Physical tear rolled down my face to see how people look like me, my race, my people getting murdered like that. But you know, you got to man up. They call you refugees for a reason. You got to come to the table why they doing that. And nobody's giving you a platform to tell you the truth of why this stuff is happening to you. But you're out of divine law. You're out of divine law, and you're paying a hell of a cost. Holocaust, hell of a cost, same word. That's concocted by brother Dr. Khalid Muhammad. We're paying a hell of a cost, man, for being disobedient to ourselves, to our God and our ancestors. You know what I mean? And it ain't gonna stop, and it shouldn't stop. And when you come back to who you are, man, you can stop your demise and stop your humiliation, dying a humiliating death. This pig is killing pregnant women, man. Shooting a baby and a child, 2 for 1. You see what I'm saying? And I don't know what else to say, but again, the name of this particular monologue was Christian Preacher Released from the Belly of the U.S. Beast. And I suggest you all go to the show by Dry Bones Blog Talk Radio, Helios Biblios Hour. Comes on every Sunday, 10 to 12. He's out of Florida. Like I said, I don't agree with his agenda. Him being a Mason, he getting them Federal Reserve notes, but his information is limited. You know, he ain't giving no solutions. What the hell we should be doing? He gives information for an agenda to get them Federal Reserve notes. That ain't gonna cut it. Dry Bones. And I'm gonna get this to you, or somebody will get it to you. And, you know, I listen to your show every week. You know that, because you do give pertinent information. But I fail you on an agenda. What the hell we should be doing? You know, and it's gonna come all back to nationalizing, nationality, nationhood, unapologetically, unconditionally. And you know, that is one thing Taj Sharik Bey emphasizes, overemphasizes, especially his latest 2 YouTubes, which I strongly suggest you all look at, whether you agree with this brother or not. But you don't hear nobody talking about what he's talking about, the relevance of what he's talking about. So once again, family, I'm gonna sign off. And you know, I don't plan to do too many of these YouTubes. I don't never plan to do them anyway. When something takes place, I feel a need to say some words to let you know my position, let you know where I stand. But status, S-T-A-T-U-S, small word, you better look at your status in the world, and in the world of law, and in the world of universal law, divine law, moral law, ancient law, spiritual law, natural law. You're not going to be able to get around it. Check your status, get your status right, get your mind right, get your head right, especially to you sisters. You know, go on my website, see what I'm offering to the people, see my offerings, and you can comment. And if you know, if that proposal is not right up your alley for doing something with, then send me a proposal and tweak my proposal. That's how we got to do that. But don't just criticize and run your mouth, and you ain't got nothing to offer. You know, a sister sent me the email about this. You know, she talking about some kind of organic farming movement, but all that's gonna boil back down to your status. Another brother approached me about some land he sees that he want me to help him get some land. You know, what can we do to move on that land? And I keep telling them it's gonna all boil down to your status. You ain't doing nothing favorable. They ain't giving you nothing as Negro, black, colored, African American. But a bullet in your chest. Okay? And I've said this before, the only thing left for natural Asiatics to do is wake up. They are scared of you. You have a claim. You have a claim. This is all about inserting a claim, expressing a claim, and enforcing a claim. With 2012 coming in, and the revelation, the revealing knowledge that is here, they know the only thing left for you to do is wake up to who you are and claim what they've been stealing, which is everything around you. These corporations have nothing that you can't acquire commercially, as you are the basis of that product. And when you wake up and take it all back, that's what they're scared of you doing. Hillary and them, they can't keep snatching and taking their offspring to infinity when you wake up and come back to who you are. It's a showdown. And damn it, I'm waking up to who I am. I'm not gonna starve on the land of my forefathers. I'm gonna step to anybody. I don't give a damn who you are. Jew, cracker. If you're a cracker, you got no win here on this continent. I'm gonna get in my place and step to you. Cause I will eat, sleep, and live comfortably on my land, especially when it's all coming from my energy and my substance. I have no respect for a corporation. Corporation is a whore. I whore them out. When I find you a corporation, I whore you out. Treat them like a prostitute. A lot of y'all don't know that jam by Slick Rick, old school hip hop. Treat them like a prostitute. Treat these corporations like a damn prostitute, because that's what they are. All of them, even these 501c3 churches. Whore them out. They whore it out. Okay? You get nothing, especially it's off of my exemption, my substance, the land and the people. You owe the people that. But the people got to get in their status and take it back. That's what it's all about. Original Asiatics. America for the Americans. Caucasoids, you're not American. Euro-Albions, you're not American. That's why that white woman trying to get a little melanin-rich baby every chance she getting that damn genetically recessive cracker trying to get up in the womb of an Asian so he can get some entitlements. A lot of you may not know that damn Zuckerberg Jew, fake Jew, he got him an Asian wife. They stay up in our women, man. Stay up in Asians. Trying to get some entitlement on this earth. Sun's getting closer to burn their ass. They trying to produce some offspring to have some entitlements. But that ain't gonna work either. That ain't gonna work either. Once again, Amin Rael, I'm gonna sign out. Hopefully I said some things you all can relate to. But listen to the archive. Do a favor to yourself. At least listen to the archive of the Christian brother who just got out of jail. Ed Pinkney, I think his name is. And if you follow what he stands for, that's on you. I don't follow him, but it's important. You know, I'm about the current events. I'm about getting the events to the people and putting my spin on it, what it means to me and what I stand for. Again, check out my website and you can see what I stand for. https://indigenouspledocs.wixsite.com/Asiatic Moorish Nation. That's 2 U's. And of course, my email is asiaticmoorishnation@gmail.com with 2 O's. Look forward to your comments. Some of y'all are scared to even comment. Talking about, you know, I'm already hot, brother. I can't email you or have you email. I'm already hot. I mean, what does that mean, you hot? You're already a house nigga. House niggas are hot. You know, you're a nigga. You're an African American, colored, black African American. You hot, and they burning you every day. So, you get the email from me or emailing me ain't gonna do no better, no worse for you. It might do you some good. But I'm gonna use their technology to free myself. To hell with they web. I know they control that shit for control. I'm gonna use it every chance I get to send some fire. They done cut me off a couple of times, but I'm gonna use it for what it's need to be used for. I'm gonna get the information to the people using their apparatus, which is really your apparatus. They're using the airways for this digital mess. You know, the website, the web is using airwaves, natural airwaves, again, which belong to you. I'd be damned if they're gonna control something that belongs to you to control you. It's yours. It's yours anyway. Use it to free the people. Power to the people and free the land. I'm in Rael once again. I'm out. Peace.